Hello and welcome to Epping Stadium for today's Round 3 NPL 2 Victoria West clash between the Melbourne Victory NPL side and Werribee City. I'm your commentator, Brandon Galgano. With me today is Vincenzo Iannucci, here, the father, I hope I've gotten that correct, the father of, actually, what was your son's name? Gianluca Iannucci from Melbourne City Youth, here to present to you what should be a really entertaining clash here out in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. And then we'll pass across to Vincenzo, of course, a seasoned player out at Cobram, now known as the Cobram Roar. Welcome, Vincenzo. How are you feeling about today's game?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about today's game after yesterday's effort. We will see a very interesting game, I believe, anyway, between some young kids in Melbourne Victory and Werribee City. So Melbourne Victory, really, a lot of kids that are playing at these A-League clubs are really between a rock and a hard place because, you know, everyone wants to have a bit of the A-League club franchises. So I don't think Werribee will be any different, and they'll have a point to prove.
Well, there certainly is a Werribee side coming into this on the back of some fantastic early season form here. The best start under the guidance of Serge Sabiadini. And well, with a number of those new signings that came in over the off-season, a fantastic start to this new campaign. And we'll go through the starting lineups as we see both sides line up here at a picturesque Epping Stadium. Of course, it is still quite warm, but the cloud cover over the top has given a nice little overlay of a breeze. And it does look like both sides are coming in here, and it looks like we might have a minute of silence as well. So we'll hold for that, and we'll be back with you in a minute. So the minute of silence is complete, and we'll go through the starting lineups, of course, for the Melbourne Victory to start. Number 1, Matthew Sutton. Number 10, Yazid Saeed. Number 19, Jack Palazzo. Number 15, Aiden Mustajanic. Number 16, Jack Morton. Number 11, Brandon Lawton. Number 17, Josh Hope. Number 14, Luke Goulding. Number 4, Ben Carrigan. Number 3, Aaron Anderson. And number 21, Ramat Akbari. On the bench, Daniel A. Number 12, number 13, Matthew Bozinovski. Number 20, Liston Diaz. Number 7, Thierry Irakunda. And number 22, backup goalkeeper Branko Stojcic. So again, a lot of young names in there. A few boys in there that have played in the A-League so far this season in Akbari and Hope. Should be a good chance for them to submit some senior experience here as we go through the Werribee lineup as well. Number 1, Christian Rossi in goals. Number 5, Daniel Petrov. Number 7, Lissandro Paz. Number 17, Dion Powler. Number 15, Takanori Nishimoto. Number 4, Brad Murray. Number 18, Tyler James. Number 9, Alex Goodwin. Number 5, Julian Collette. Number 20, Jacob Butler. And number 2, Nicholas Bavka. As we are already underway, and Werribee looking to attack early here, of course going from right to left in the yellow kit, and from left to right we've got the Melbourne Victory in their customary navy blue. And as we said, both sides looking quite strong. Of course, on the bench for Werribee, number 10, Liam Bryant. Number 11, Carlin Feely. Number 14, Samuel McCall. And number 22, Nikola Konstantinovsky. So again, Werribee looking to get off to the positive start, of course. 2 wins from 2 for Werribee. Getting a very strong result against Geelong last week. Of course, backing up a 5-3 win on the opening day of the season against Brunswick City. And now again a chance for the Victory to come forward here. Just out on the far side. A great little exchange and turn of pace there. And now a chance to attack through the middle of the ground. Ball played out wide, but the offside flag is raised there on Yazid Saeed, who's just gone in behind. And while you mentioned, Vince, a few of the players in this Victory Youth lineup, certainly wants to watch out for. And one of them was Saeed here. He's had a fairly decent off-season and a very good A-League youth campaign, has he?
Well, I saw him through the youth league, and I watched him a bit last year, and he really impressed me. I know he's got a lot of pace and he's got a lot of skill, and he's not scared to try things. That's one of the big things that I like about him. He's not scared to have a go and go forward at every opportunity.
Well, again, with the likes of Josh Hope in here as well, and Ramat Akbari, both of them have had a fair bit of game time in the A-League so far this season. As Bavkar gets up with the header there, now Nishimoto tries to help it on, but the ball had gone out of play, so it will be a throw in here for the Victory. So now played quickly across. Strong win of the ball there by Tyler James, of course, formerly of Melbourne City himself. There are a few ex-Youth League boys in both of these teams. Dion Powler, of course, was at Melbourne Victory as well himself. Now a long ball over the top again, looking for Saeed, but a bit of time on it here. Now it's Bavkar on the ball, looking to come forward on this left-hand side. Finds Goodwin. A good win of possession there in the middle of the park, and now the Victory through Hope come forward. And a great little combination there in behind as well. And it could be a chance here out wide. Just holding the ball up and looking for options in there as Palazzolo, sorry, I'll say. And then the ball played through again towards him. But Bavkar again just getting in there, and a bit of a shaky clearance, and Werribee just struggling to get on the ball. And Hope brought down there by Bavkar, so it will be a free kick in a dangerous area. You can already see, Vince, the style of play, and the Melbourne Victory, of course, very well known. A lot of these youth league sides, very good on the ball, and the pitch certainly will suit that style of play. You just see they're trying to move it really quickly in the final third.
Yeah, they are. Josh Hope there, just a little bit too much pace on that occasion, and that's really all that it was. Jack Morton, though, I'm impressed with his start.
Well, again, a chance here in a dangerous position to whip the ball in. Morton standing over the free kick. Two Werribee City players in the wall. Ball whipped in towards the back post, and there is a free kick in there, rightly so, against Goulding, who's just had his hands all over the Werribee City centre-back. And it will be Christian Rossi to put this ball on the ground and take the free kick. Three and a half minutes gone. High and long ball forward. Nishimoto getting up, trying to get the ball down. Now Powler coming forward here on this left-hand side. Under some pressure there from Goulding, but he's gone into a dangerous area here, Powler. Just holds it up and then looks to cross the ball. Couldn't really find anyone, but Paz is there at the back post. He's got Tyler James overlapping around him. Paz does well to beat his man and then whip the ball in dangerously across. And Powler just couldn't quite get himself onto that at the back post. But that is the danger that Lissandro Paz does give you. So much speed and direct movement out wide. And a really good ball into the box that Goodwin probably should have put away.
Yeah, absolutely should have put away. That was a bit of a game of skittles there. Went through everybody.
The high ball forward again. Strong win of the ball, but again given away. Now it's Murray who wins it back, and ball spread out wide well to Tyler James. Again, himself and Lizzie Paz both coming from Moreland City. We were both a part of that agonising playoff final defeat. Of course, former club of myself as well. Watching that, I think, was painful for anyone that's ever been associated with Moreland. 2 goals up with 30 seconds of normal time to play before conceding both and then losing in extra time. Good win there on the ball. Given away. Now Akbari coming forward there. And Saeed on the left-hand side. Got a bit of danger here. Can he cut in onto his right? Deflected towards the back post. No one there, though, and Bavkar stops it from going out and tries to find Nishimoto. Couldn't quite get it down to Powler. Goulding, so it was Morton. Now Goodwin gets the ball out wide. Really good pass, but Lizzie Paz just couldn't quite get on the ball there. And the ball goes out for a throw in there for the Melbourne Victory. Again, you can just see here Werribee setting up to play on the counter-attack. The likes of Nishimoto out wide and Lizzie Paz both giving you a lot of run. The interesting one as well is Alec Goodwin dropping in really deep to receive the ball as a number 9. Now the throwing taken down the line, and again, just unable to help it on. But a solid enough start from both sides here, Vince. You can certainly see the Victory are looking to use the pace of Saeed over the top, though. And they're not afraid to spread that ball and play quite direct today as well.
Yeah, that's true too. I think for the most part they'll be trying to knock it around here and there because, well, that's really the way that they're brought up in most youth development sides. But yeah, no, they're not scared to have a go when it's there. Absolutely not.
So now the ball played forward there by Carrigan. Well controlled down at the back there. And now they look to get this ball across. And again, just a waste of possession. And now again on the ball here for the victory. A good spread of play there out wide. Now it's a chance to come forward here again. Hope on the ball. Under pressure from Murray. A good ball inside again. Great combination. Play in. Hope is brought down, and it is a penalty for the Melbourne Victory. Nicholas Bavkar just a little bit late in there, and Hope for the second time got the beating of his fullback. And then as he got into the box, was brought down from behind. A clear penalty. And now a real chance for the Victory to get ahead. And again, just that little slip ball in behind has found the gaps.
Yep. And again, pace. Hope's got to prove a point too. He's got to try and get back into that A-League setup. And what a good way to do it. Beat your fullback, earn a penalty, and here we go. He's got a chance to convert.
Well, here is Hope to make it 1-0 here early in the game. And he slots it into the bottom corner. A great start here for Josh Hope, and as we said, for his ambitions of getting back into the A-League side. A well-won penalty. He stepped up and converted it himself. And it is the Melbourne Victory who lead here by 1-0 early in the first half. Well deserved, you'd say, but again, they'll be very disappointed Werribee to have broken down that easily. And again, a silly, silly penalty to give away there by Bavkar.
That's right. It was really the only clear opportunity they had on goal. There was a couple of block shots here and there, and he's got in behind, and once again, just a little bit too much pace for his fullback.
Well, Werribee just waiting to get us started again. And what will the response be? As we said, Josh Hope playing on a little bit of a wider role here. Of course, in that diamond midfield, it's a very similar system used by Kevin Muscat in the A-League side at the moment. You can just see really looking to push on and get behind his fullback. He's done so twice now, and he's won one free kick and one penalty, which he's converted himself as we get underway again. And it's Tyler James looking to come forward here as the wind does pick up out here at Epping Stadium. Certainly has helped with the conditions though. The 37-degree heat certainly doesn't feel 37 degrees out here at the moment. And now the Victory will look to get on the ball again. Well played there by Morton. Goulding under pressure. Goes all the way back and he's given it away almost. And Sutton was quick off his line. And now a long ball over the top again. And headed down. Now it's Bavkar. Looks up to find Nishimoto. Now back to Bavkar. Goes back to his central defender. And now again a chance for Werribee to come forward. But poorly given away.
Aside probably from the first 5 minutes or so, they've been a little bit limp going into the final third, Werribee. It's looked like they got no purpose when they get there. They're not quite sure what to do. That's what it looks like at the moment.
Certainly haven't really been able to get on the ball enough in advanced areas as Tyler James is caught out there. Now a chance here on the left-hand side. And the Victory looking to get into dangerous areas again here. The ball whipped across the box and cleared away. Only as far as Lawton, who checks and goes back to his central defender. And patient in possession the Victory are, and Carrigan just looks up. You can just see Hope starting his inside run and then peeling himself off out wide. But the Victory very comfortable in possession here and playing out of the back, and now they come forward on the left-hand side. And Lawton just checking back in there again. Anderson across to Carrigan, who's had a fair bit of the ball at centre-back. He looks direct, but Christian Rossi quickly off his line to collect that. And again, Werribee will just look to maybe just get themselves on the ball a little bit more. It has been all Melbourne Victory in terms of possession at the moment. Now Bavkar. Get forward. Good central pass into Goodwin. And now Powler with a great switch of play out to Paz. Holds it up, beats his man again, does Lissandro Paz, and he gets himself into the box dangerously. Still going his Paz, and, well, he's gone down rather easily, you'd think there, and I think the referee's going to show a yellow card for simulation. It was a half-hearted shout at best, and I think it was pretty obvious that Paz was looking for the contact. Probably a good decision from the referee there.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That was a dive.
Probably wouldn't have coped with that as well back in the Cobram leagues if you were doing that back in the day.
No, you would have been told to get up in no uncertain terms, but I think it was the flailing arms and legs that gave it away.
As we said, a very direct and aggressive player, Lissandro Paz. He did really well to get into that area. Something Werribee need more out of. He has beaten his fullback a few times there, though. Probably the best outlet so far in the game for Werribee. Now Paz again under pressure. That time they do win it. Mustajanic getting it forward towards Lawton, but Tyler James holding the ball up. Under pressure from Lawton. He's got his back towards goal and somehow finds a space to turn and find the feet of Butler, who holds it up and then gives it away again. And now Lawton on this left-hand side. Chance potentially to get the ball in the box, but he just checks up and centres in towards Hope. It didn't really get enough gravity on the pass, and now it's Murray. And Werribee now can come forward through Powler. He's got Bavkar on his left-hand side. And now Nishimoto. And these are the areas they want to get him into. Ball played back to Bavkar again, who centres in towards Goodwin. Gets the ball down, and a great chance here in the box. And, wow, it was the central defender getting forward and just not quite able to get himself into a goal-scoring position there. And now the ball played forward, and Saeed was brought down, and well, the referee looked at his linesman, either for an offside flag or a free kick. Neither was given. And now it's Christian Rossi on the ball. Well, we have seen a bit of an improvement and maybe a little bit of calmness coming through this Werribee side in the last few minutes. And certainly getting into some dangerous areas out wide.
Yeah, true. I do happen a lot. And the way they got out of that with the amount of press that Melbourne Victory were applying was really good. And then they spread them out because they're trying to press them in numbers. So that was really well done there.
Murray gets it into Powler, who's been quite busy in that central midfield role so far, with a bit of a point to prove, of course, against his former employers. And now it's Lizzie Paz again, driving in past his fullback. Is Paz! And just wide. Lissandro Paz again getting into a really dangerous area. And, well, he just couldn't quite angle the shot on target. But a really good drive and promising signs for Werribee here. And the closest they've gone, arguably, to getting that equalising goal.
He is giving that left full back an absolute nightmare. He's having a good game, a really good game to start it off.
Quite an experienced player now, Paz. Of course, broke onto the NPL scene initially with Port Melbourne, then moved across to Moreland City in 2015. Spent the last 3.5 seasons there before making the switch to Werribee this year. Of course, with former teammates Liam Bryan and Tyler James. Liam Bryan on the bench, but all three of them former Moreland City players. And again, a free kick there just given away by Nishimoto. And the Victory here will just want to get some sort of control back in that midfield at the moment, because Werribee in the last few moments have certainly started to assert themselves on this game. It always is the battle when you see these youth league sides playing in the NPL competitions, how long they can last. Of course, technically always quite advanced, but physically that's where they start to get some question marks asked. And that's a great play forwards there to Nishimoto, who's one-on-one with his fullback. Can he look to go around him? He does, onto his left and cuts in, but the delivery was poor. And the Victory can come forward here through Hope, who's got Lawton in space on the left-hand side. He's looking for him. Instead, centres in towards Morton, and then across now from Anderson to Lawton. Anderson doing really well to drive forward there on the ball. But again, given away. And now Werribee with a chance to potentially come forward. And Saeed used his body quite well there, but again, hooked clear by James. Carrigan getting some really good body there on Nishimoto. And now Akbari. Haven't seen too much of him so far. Ball through. Saeed just offside. Really unlucky, but we can see the danger there of actually getting Akbari on the ball, and that's something which they haven't been able to do so far, the Melbourne Victory.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was before that little action in play, I was going to mention that. He's hardly been sighted, but gets on the ball only for a split second, and all of a sudden there's a breakthrough. So you're right, they need to get him on the ball more.
Well, you can see here Werribee, they've set up with a 4-3-3 with both central midfielders pushing quite high up the ground, and then Murray there, who's won the ball, sitting right on Akbari. He's obviously been given that responsibility to marshal the Melbourne Victory attacking midfielder. Ball played out wide, Hope using his body quite well there. Hasn't got much on forward, so he just props and goes back into Morton, who's been really good at controlling the tempo from defensive midfield today. Now Carrigan looks forward there for Goulding, who's found a bit of space from his marker in Nishimoto. Now finds Hope in an advanced position. Got options left and right, but a good win of possession there at the back, and now a chance for Nishimoto, who just goes back to Bavkar, who goes into Murray. Werribee now just looking to keep possession of the ball, and Bavkar goes back into his central defender. And again, just a little bit too much on that ball as it rolls through into the feet of Sutton. Now, poor giveaway possession there. Paz on the ball. Great challenge there from Anderson. One-on-one as Paz got into a dangerous area, and a good second win of possession as well. Good little bit of play there again from Werribee.
Yeah. Caught him on the hop, actually. Morton was caught not scanning there. He didn't know that he was there, and he almost gifted it then. So, yeah.
Apologies, just trying to keep the mic close into Vincenzo there. As now it's Nishimoto who comes forward. Holds it up on the left and then goes back outside. Chance to cross. Just holding it up. 2 or 3 players around him. Now Nishimoto on the left. He's onside as well and delivers in towards the back post. And again, just headed behind. Safe defending there from the Victory, and a chance here for Werribee on the corner. As we've played around about 22 minutes here at Epping Stadium. And it's still the Melbourne Victory leading by a goal to nil. Of course, Josh Hope's penalty in the 8th minute. What is separating both sides at the moment, but again, a chance here for Werribee to deliver off the set piece.
Bigger bodies. I'll be keen to see what happens here.
Number of targets in there. Alec Goodwin, probably the main one. Opportunity here on the corner. Paz standing over it. Whips the ball in. Dangerous delivery and just mistiming the run at the back post. Kept alive well though. And now a chance to cross. Ball played in centrally. Whipped across again, but good defending there from the Victory. And now Hope under some pressure. Holds it up. Goes back to Carrigan, who clears only as far as Petrov, who turns back inside to Murray. Now the switch of play across to James. And now Werribee can come forward in an advanced position on this right-hand side. Pass. It's got Paola making the driving run in behind. He goes back into James, who's just picked there by Saeed. But you can just see here, Werribee, they're keeping the ball higher up the ground now, and it really is forcing the Victory to defend in deeper areas at the moment, and it's causing some problems.
Yeah, they're finding avenues around the side and in behind, which is causing Victory some problems. They're also not covering the runner around the side, so that's going to cause them some problems if they keep that up. They've got to start covering it.
So Murray gets the ball back in. Werribee now really holding possession over the last few minutes. Ball played out wide. It's Bavkar on the ball. Switch of play. Paz gets it down, keeps it well. Paola, James. Clips the ball in towards the feet of Goodwin, but he just couldn't quite get it under. But the referee has given a corner kick. Certainly the most sustained period of dominance here from Werribee so far in this game. Really starting to assert themselves, and we talked about the physicality aspect. Probably just winning the physical battle in midfield at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They are, no doubt about it.
So now a chance on the corner kick. Lissandro Paz here to take. So Paz whips in dangerously again towards the back post. Hope this time flicking the ball away. Victory just doing enough at the moment. So Babcock whips the ball in. Chance to strike. Oh, it's an absolute wonder goal. What a finish that is, and Werribee have equalised. A fantastic finish there from Julian Collette. And well, it is the Werribee City side who have levelled it in quite spectacular circumstances. A great ball into the box, a wonderful turn from the centre-back, and an outstanding finish as we hit our first drinks break of the game here. What a way to go into it, and what a way to equalise.
Well, you could almost see that coming over the last 5 minutes or so. They were starting to dominate. They were getting him behind, and they were starting to find Collette. And they found him there, turned. What a strike. I'll tell you what, he hit that. I could hear the thump from here. It was a great strike. So they'll go into this very happy, and they'll be perked up, I reckon, after this drinks break.
Well, Collette, the central defender, who's been getting in some really dangerous areas so far. And, well, what a way to get themselves back into this contest. And we just spoke about it before, the fact that they're actually starting to keep the ball a little bit higher up the ground and starting to assert themselves physically in midfield. It was a fast start from the Victory, of course, with the 8th-minute goal from Josh Hope, who, of course, won the penalty himself, converted it. But ever since then, it was probably a slow process of Werribee getting themselves back on it. And you've got to say the influence of Murray in central midfield at isolating Akbari, not allowing him to get the ball, and therefore not really allowing the Victory to get the ball in advanced areas. It really meant that from there, Werribee were able to actually get the ball, hold on to it, and start to create some chances.
Yeah, that's right. And their interplay was starting to come into effect too. They had a little bit of interplay. And Collette, the striker that just scored, he's also starting to make little runs into pockets where he's going to get it. There was one there that he missed just before the goal was scored. So he's also starting to bring himself into the game. Paz, in my opinion, has probably been the pick of the bunch out of Werribee so far. He's had a great start.
Lissandro Paz, of course, as we said, one of the more experienced probably players in this side now, been around the NPL for a few years, and again, certainly been giving his fullback some headaches out on that right-hand side. But, as we say, it's 1-1 now, and Werribee certainly making a game of it, and Serge Sabiadini will certainly be pleased with their response to going behind early. As we said, a side in hot form at the moment, 2 from 2 in the league, the best ever start under Sabiadini. Really the best ever start they've had since their relegation from the NPL into NPL 2 back in 2016. As we look to get underway again, and it will be a kickoff, of course, following the goal. And well, what can the Victory do now to get themselves back into this game? Because at the moment, it's looking like Werribee is starting to run over the top.
Yeah, they are. But they'll have been taught what they need to do in certain situations. I would imagine that Victory would be no different from any other youth league, A-League franchise in that aspect. So they'll be taught just to play the way that they've been playing. Don't change a thing, and good things will come to those who wait. I think that'll be the mantra coming out of Gareth Novan.
Well, we are underway again here, so 1 apiece here. What did the Victory have in response? As Paz gets on the ball, finds Goodwin. Tried to find the overrun of Paz there again, but the Victory do come away. Now all the way back to Rossi, who just plays a little 1-2 off his left back. And Bavkar, of course, will be pleased that the penalty is given away. Hasn't made a defining contribution just yet to the result. Now the Victory with the long throw forward. Saeed, who hasn't really been able to get himself on the ball. Ball cleared again high forwards. And played over the top towards Nishimoto, who gets it down. Goulding did well with a good recovering challenge. And now Lawton on the ball. Gets it into Akbari, who again so closely marshalled there by Tyler James. And a great little combination now for James to get out wide. Can he deliver into the box? He does. It's a good ball in. Nishimoto tried the spectacular. And then it fell. And, well, other Goodwin with anything but. And now a chance here for Hope on the counter-attack. Akbari on the ball. Hasn't really got much ahead of him. He's got Hope making a driving run, but he's in an offside position. Wasn't far away there. But again, Akbari just receiving and just not quite able to find the space to create.
I think he just took too long to make the decision, to be honest. He was looking up and waiting and waiting and waiting. By the time Hope had made the run, he'd run into an offside position. Should have been a bit earlier.
Well, Collette standing over the ball and plays a fantastic ball forwards there to Nishimoto. He really has been one of the best players on the field so far, Collette. Nishimoto with the ball into Goodwin. Oh, that's a fantastic header. Alec Goodwin makes it 2-1 Werribee. Pick that one out. And what a recovery. 2 goals in the last 4 minutes there for Werribee City. And well, Alec Goodwin, he's known for being strong in the air. That one certainly was. And the Victory here find themselves behind by 2-1.
That is truly a great header. He wasn't at the top of his jump then, so he's had to try and control that, and it's hit the bar and gone in. That's a great header.
Well, it all started with the piercing through ball there from Collette at centre back, who found the run of Nishimoto out wide, and then a picture-perfect delivery in to find Goodwin. And well, the header straight into the top corner. Nobody is saving that. You've got to feel sorry for Sutton in the Victory goal. He's been beaten by 2 fantastic strikes. And now it's Werribee who take a 2-1 lead at the moment and back on the ball again. James gets it into Petrov. You just see the confidence now in possession and the forward movement there. Again, Collette with a great pass over the top. Nishimoto holding on to it here. Cuts the ball into the middle, but only could find the arms of Sutton, who just looking to get this ball started quickly again as the Victory come forward here through Lawton. And Tyler James just winning the battle there at fullback. And going back into Petrov. Given away that time, Lawton. Back into Morton, who, again, with the demise of the Victory dominance in the last 10-15 minutes, hasn't really been able to get on the ball as much as he was in the opening exchanges. Now James with the ball over the top there, and Goodwin looking to chase. Good defending there from the Victory, and again cleared away by Sutton, and you can just see the pressure being executed here at the moment. The Victory really not able to get on the ball and really not able to dictate the tempo like they were.
No, that's right. I think they're starting to hit a little bit of the panic stations. They need to calm it down a little bit, because they're starting to make rash decisions and just kick the ball and boot the ball. So what got them there in the first place, what they're struggling to do is actually find their front three. So that's something that they really got to try and go and really try and follow what they did at the beginning of the game. Although Werribee, in saying that, Werribee, you can see their chests are puffed out. They're up for this.
Again, the Victory, you can just see long balls over the top to no one. Certainly not in the football curriculum that most National Youth League sides do follow. And again, it just shows the physical pressure being put on these midfielders here by Werribee, who are very organised in the way that they're pressing the ball and shuffling the space quite well in midfield. As you can just see there, the likes of Morton and Akbari just not able to turn and play the ball forwards. A lot of the ball being held at centre-back between Anderson and Carrigan. Now that time they were able to break the lines, and it's Lawton here who can drive forward. This is where the Victory are dangerous, and Lawton on this left-hand side just holding it up. Goes back into Akbari. Wide out now to Goulding, who bounces in towards Hope, but again just not able to get on the ball, and Murray again winning it in possession. Goodwin gets it down well. Powell up. Paz. Goodwin making a run on the right-hand side. Paz looks to cut inside himself. Now he'll drive. He's got Akbari putting pressure on, and Paz is brought down. No free kick there given by the referee, who claims they both ran into each other. Well, that's at least the message he's giving to a, you can say, frustrated Serge Sabiadini.
Well, Werribee actually looked the better side at the moment. Yeah, there's no question about it. I thought that was a free kick. I think he might not have given it to him. Was he the one that received the yellow card earlier on for his play acting?
Well, Lizzie Paz, he certainly was. That time was no acting, and there is a man down at the moment. It looks like, you just see clearly here, he's behind a few players. Looks like Alec Goodwin has just gone down. Now, this will be concerning, of course, the scorer of the second goal for Werribee. He is slowly getting to his feet, right out there on the touchline, but doesn't look to be in a good way, to be fair, and this could be really concerning if he isn't able to continue. It does look like he is getting to his feet slowly, and Sabiadini just gives him the old pat on the back. Usually the signal that you'll be right to get yourself back out there and going.
Run it out. That's what that means, run it out.
Powell up, under some pressure. Lawton. You can just see Werribee attacking the ball in numbers, really looking to isolate some of these smaller bodies, especially in wide areas. And that's where you can see Werribee getting a lot of their success, not really pressing the ball in the middle of the park, but as soon as it gets out wide to a fullback or a wide midfielder, they really are closing in quickly. And now it's Nishimoto who centers the ball inside. Now out to Goodwin, who looks to be back on his feet, although he's been nicked to possession there. Clearance only as far as James, who's really been able to get himself on the ball in the last few minutes. Petrov with a good switch out there to Bavcup, who again has probably slowly started to win that battle with Hope, who started off certainly the stronger. Powell up, turning well. Nishimoto holding on to it under some pressure, goes back to Bavcup. He hits it high over the top towards Goodwin, who put a little bit too much body pressure there on Carrigan. So it will be a free kick here for the Victory. The Victory skipper will look to get this underway quickly. Sutton. Ball played hopefully over the top towards Said. Again, has not really been able to get on the ball at all. Under some real serious pressure from Petrov, his direct opponent.
Yeah, I'll put the Moz on him now.
But you can just see here again, and we talk about the physicality component of playing senior football compared to youth football, and you can see a few players in this Victory side really struggling with that physical contact at the moment, and Werribee, with a lot of strong, experienced bodies at the back, certainly winning that battle at the minute. Again, the ball given away. Goulding. Akbari. Gets the ball forward and offside. That time only just. It was one of the only times we've seen the Victory get in behind. And again, for the second occasion in the last few minutes, the offside flag is what's denied them.
Yeah, that's just a disciplined defensive line. It really is. As soon as he's gone forward, the defensive line's followed him, and the two guys really are caught ball watching, and they're caught offside.
Well, Palazzolo certainly hasn't really been able to get himself on the ball either. Said that front three's been really closely marshalled, but one person has been able to get on it. It is Nishimoto, who set a task there to keep that alive by Goodwin, but he's done well. Now Paola, who holds it up. He's got a few options inside. Good little exchange of play there, but the penetrating pass wasn't able to find Paz. Now Bavcup out wide, and Nishimoto again looking to deliver from this left-hand side, but blocked well by Goulding, who's had a really difficult time. Of course, Nishimoto, another very experienced player, of course, was with Sabiadini at Pauline back when they got promoted to the NPL. Of course, Sabiadini at that stage was the director of football. Don Barber being the senior coach at that time. And now that's going to be a free kick in a dangerous area here for Werribee. And it looks like Paz will come across and get on this set piece. And again, throwing the big bodies forward. Collette in there, Goodwin in there as well. Another chance for Werribee.
And they're starting to dominate the flanks, both the left and the right now, with Nishimoto on one side and Paz on the other. They're causing all sorts of problems when they get the ball.
Paz standing over the free kick. Number of Werribee City shirts in the box. Paz whips it in, back post. Great delivery, and really should have been a third. And it looked like Collette again who got into that position. He's certainly been one of the more dangerous players, the central defender. A fantastic set piece there from Paz. And a really, really decent opportunity for Werribee to get themselves a 2-goal cushion. And it would have been well deserved. Should have hit the target there, you think, the central defender?
He's a central defender, Brandon. He's not going to hit the target, mate. The other one was a fluke, but it was a very, very good one. And if he hears me about this, I don't want to go anywhere near him because he's about 5 times the size of me.
From the technique of that hit in the first one, it certainly didn't look like a fluke from what I've seen. If he has done that, he's...
defenders are either putting it over into the stands, all right, or they're hitting the back of the net, and he hit the back of the net on that occasion.
I can tell you a few centre-backs who would certainly disagree with that one. Ball switched across now. And whipped forward there for Saeed. A good delivery too, and Saeed on the ball, out wide. James marshalling him closely, goes back towards his fullback. Saeed now looking to cut inside. Now Carrigan. For the first time, we've really been able to see the Victory hold the ball in a higher area of the field, but again given away, and now a chance for Werribee to counter. And this is where Paz looks really dangerous. One-on-one with his fullback. He cuts inside again to Goodwin, who's under some pressure there from Hope, but Goodwin just turns and uses his body really well there to get into this dangerous area. Slaloms himself into the box, but Hope did well with a good block challenge and then holds the ball with composure. And now the Victory with the chance to come forward here. Blocked off well, though. James. Werribee again on the ball in a dangerous area. And Murray just holds it up and goes back to his centre-back in Collette, who finds Powell up. He's been really busy. We mentioned it earlier in that number 8 box-to-box midfield role. Goulding that time nipping in ahead of Nishimoto and also winning a free kick. You got to say, the spine of this Werribee side at the moment between Murray, Petrov and Collette, really strong and physical defensively, and then they're able to outlet through the likes of Paola and Paz, who looks like he's got a little switch there with Goodwin as well.
Yeah, looks like that, yeah. Looks like Goodwin's gone out wide.
It's a dangerous ball forward. Rossi off his line, well timed.
And in saying that too, though, Melbourne Victory look like they've slowed right down as well. It's whether it's the conditions, I'm not too sure, but some of the boys are walking.
Again, just that inability to really get on the ball in advanced areas is hurting them. And you're going to see resorting to these long balls over the top. Now it's Bavcup, who comes forward on the left. Bit of time and space. Now the ball played out across to Petrov. And James on the ball. Goodwin just couldn't quite get there. So Carrigan on it. Back into Anderson. Does well to find Lawton in a bit of space. He's also gotten a switch there with Josh Hope coming out into this right-hand side now. Powell up on the ball looking to drive. Gets in past Lawton initially. Still Powell out to Paz. Again, Paz doing well to use his body. Just see the composure on the ball and the ability to spread the plate. Just making sure that Werribee keep themselves on top of this midfield battle. And then the outlet here to Goodwin, who gets it down nicely to Powell up. Nishimoto, Powell up. Switch of play. Just couldn't get enough on it to find Paz. James driving forward. Goodwin cries for handball. Not given. And now the ball played out wide to Saeed, who's got a bit of space to run into here. And this could be a little bit of danger here. Saeed just looking to clip the ball through. Now Palazzolo was offside. And again, the Victory beaten by the offside flag.
Yep, again. But just going back to the boys walking, Akbari here is not helping his teammates either. He's lost the ball and he's just jogging back instead of getting on his bike and trying to help them to win the ball back. He's got to do better than that.
Long ball dealt with quite comfortably at the back. Now Morton. Carrigan. To Hope. All the way back to his goalkeeper in Sutton, who goes back inside to Anderson. Now Hope, who they're probably going to look to just get on the ball a little bit more. It was really dangerous, as we said, in the opening 10 to 15 minutes of this contest, winning himself a penalty, converting it himself, but from there hasn't really been able to get himself in it. Again, Akbari was in an offside position. Collette certainly made the linesman know about it. Ball played forward. Decent flick there, but Goodwin wasn't quite on the same wavelength. Now the ball played out wide. Goulding holding it up well. Plenty of time on it here. Werribee just happy to sit off and let the Victory play in these deep areas as Anderson looks to drive forward at centre back. Clips the ball out wide. Good ball. Tyler James, really good covering challenge there. And he finds Paolo again, who tried to nick himself past Lawton. Lost the ball. Now Akbari. Given away. Murray again, who's been absolutely excellent in the centre of midfield there for Werribee. As we said, we talked about the inability of Akbari to get himself into the game, and we've just seen...
Yeah, he's trying. He's just not getting it in good areas. Every time he gets the ball, he's just swamped.
Oh, here's a good little exchange. Hope, great challenge there from the central defender again in Collette. Certainly been excellent. Now the ball played over the top towards Goodwin. Physical battle there with Anderson. Anderson gets himself into a good potty position and lays it back to Sutton, who finds his skipper again. And now they have the ball coming forward. Hope. Saeed making a wide movement. Gets it on the edge of the box. Can he look to cut inside himself? Saeed into a dangerous area. Well marshalled there by Tyler James. Again, another one who's been excellent so far today. Lawton turning. But now the Victory. This is where they can be dangerous. Holding the ball in the final third. Goulding. Hope. Again, Hope losing the ball, and out of frustration, not only pulls his shirt, but then boots the ball away. Poor discipline there from Josh Hope. And he'll get himself a yellow card for his efforts there. And no doubts to the dismay of the Melbourne Victory coaching staff.
I don't even want to talk. That drives me insane when you get cards like that for nothing. You know? And he goes and puts in a mistimed tackle 20 minutes down the road, and he's cost his team a man. That annoys us. I don't even want to get there.
Again, just silly play there from Josh Hope. You see the frustration of himself, of course. Again, the likes of Hope and Akbari really struggling to get themselves onto the ball in this game, and you can just see Werribee have done their homework. They're tightening up that midfield, especially in the final third. Just getting really close and tight onto those two.
They're contracting and expanding really well, especially when they don't have the ball. They get really, really tight, make it really hard for them to get in and behind. And now when they've got it, well, not right now, but when they've got the ball, they get nice and wide. And Nishimoto's finding a lot of space. Paz is finding a lot of space. They're killing him down the flanks.
So the Victory again, able to come forward here. Is there a late surge before half-time for an equaliser? Ball on this left-hand side, decent delivery. Collette there again. Clearance only as far as Tyler James, who did really well to pick out his Werribee City shirt going forward. And now Paz again looking to drive. Goes into Goodwin. Paz was brought down off the ball. Goodwin with a really good switch of play, and Nishimoto's touch was excellent. Now he's one-on-one with his defender. This is the position he'd want to be in. Twisting and turning, and ended up fooling himself really there. And the defender in Goulding doing well.
Yeah, he fooled himself then. He had great control to bring that down. He should have just run straight at him. I think he was just trying too much to send him one way and the other way.
So 3 minutes of added time to be played here, as shown by the fourth officials. Werribee would love to get that second goal. The Victory slowly got themselves back into this contest in the last 10 or so minutes. As we said, started off really strongly, getting the early goal through Josh Hope from the penalty spot. But goals either side of the 22-minute drinks break from centre-back Julian Collette with an absolute rocket. And then an absolutely top-class header from Alec Goodwin. At the moment has Werribee ahead, and Hope again, just with a lackadaisical almost clearance, which in the end has fallen to the feet of his Victory teammates, and now a chance for them to come forward here. So ball played out here on the left-hand side. Is there a late surge here? Back to Anderson. Picks out Hope. Akbari. Bit of time and space. Out to Lawton here. He's got numbers in the middle. Looks to deliver. But Petrov heading behind for a corner to his own frustration there. And maybe one last chance here for the Melbourne Victory to get themselves an equalising goal right before the half-time whistle here. Morton delivers into the box. Headed clear really well. And Paz look to turn and win. And all of a sudden, he could be one-on-one here with the Melbourne Victory defence. And Paz, who's got plenty of pace to burn, and he gets himself in, but just clips Lawton there. And, well, no foul given for the clip or the handball after. Probably shouts were vindicated for both. In the end, maybe the fair decision not to give anything. And now a chance here for Werribee to come forward. Nishimoto. Ball played central to Murray, who gets a good shout from his centre-back that there was a man coming and just pops himself out of that situation and gets the ball out to his full-back in Bavkar. Now across to Collette, who spreads it calmly out to Tyler James. Now played all the way back to Petrov and in turn all the way back to his goalkeeper. And Rossi just hooked the clearance a little bit and put Bavkar under a bit of pressure, but a poor touch from Goulding. And that will be that here for the first half at Epping Stadium. And it certainly was a topsy-turvy contest here so far. But it is Werribee City who lead here by 2-1 at the break. And, well, Vince, certainly was, as we said, a seesawing contest. The Victory started off really strongly and looked to be the better of the two sides early. But to be fair to Werribee, they got themselves on the ball. They started to dominate the physical battle in midfield, and two well-deserved goals mean they head into the break in the lead. Yep.
The last half an hour was all Werribee. I mean, they had a corner right at the end there, Melbourne Victory. I don't think, in saying that, they deserved a goal for the way that they've really copped a barrage down the other end, especially with Nishimoto and Paz on the sides. Two great goals. So I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the Victory change room at halftime, just to tell them, well, just to hear what the coach has got to say to them, because at the moment they don't look like they're going to score.
Well, you just look at the statistics there. 5 shots on goal for Werribee to 1 for Melbourne Victory, and only 1 on target, which was a penalty. Compared to the 3 of Werribee City, they've certainly got themselves in more dangerous areas. And the one thing that you've got to say, and this would be a concern, I think, for any of the Melbourne Victory staff and coaching members there, would probably be the attitudes of the Josh Hopes and the Ramek Akbaris, because they are looking to get themselves on the ball, but you can see their Hope starting to get frustrated, giving away silly yellow cards, lackadaisical clearances, and again, something which, again, from a discipline perspective, if they are to get themselves back in this game, they really need those guys to start to assert themselves on the ball and start to get themselves in dangerous areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two guys need to lead by example. They need to impose themselves on the game. Look, for me, Hope has actually been the pick of the bunch out of the Melbourne Victory ones. The only one that's really tried to do a couple of things here and there.
Well, welcome back here to Epping Stadium, where we have this round 3 NPL 2 West clash between Werribee City and the Melbourne Victory. Little customary wave there from Lissandro Paz and Tyler James, who both have had very, very good first halves for this Werribee City side. And again, something where, well, for a side that started off on the back foot against the Melbourne Victory, of course, an 8th-minute goal from Josh Hope gave the boys in blue the lead. Of course, the NPL equivalent of the Melbourne Victory senior side. A number of these players just coming out of the National Youth League season against Werribee City, who came into this round on the top of the NPL 2 West table and will stay there if the result stays the same, with goals from Julian Collette and Alec Goodwin either side of the 22-minute drinks break, giving them a well-earned advantage here. And, well, that's a good ball forward there. And Saeed, who, as we said in the first half, hasn't had much luck in advanced areas, but early again looking to get forward to Hope here, who holds it up. Onto his left goes Josh Hope. Shot blocked. Saeed's there. Overrun is provided by the fullback. Comes out to Lawton. Now Akbari. Bit of space to shoot here potentially. Shuffled well there by Petrov, who just forces Akbari to backtrack. And now the Victory able to get back on the ball. And Morton to Lawton. Beats the challenge of Paz. Still going is Lawton. Now centering there to Morton. Out to Goulding. Hope under some physical pressure there from Collette, who's been really strong and, well, scored an absolute rocket to equalise for Werribee. Of course, we're back in the commentary box here with myself, Brandon Galgana, and with me, of course, Vincenzo Iannucci. I got that right again. So, Vince, as we said, the first half, the physical battle was won there by Werribee, and it got them into the lead. What can you see the Victor? Oh, actually, we'll hold that thought for a moment because the fullback's overrun the ball, and Paz is one-on-one with his centre-back, but Anderson does really well. Great challenge. But, well, gave it away, and again, a silly free kick, and a yellow card will be shown there for Anderson, who initially, after winning possession, guilty of a very silly pull of the shirt there. And now, an opportunity from a set piece, exactly what Werribee would want early in this second half.
Yeah, a bit more of the same. Again, a lot of physical pressure, their compact nature in defence. And then when the ball gets close with one of the guys that's coming in from Victory, you know, the guy that goes out to meet him is really putting a physical presence on him, making him, or trying to force the error is what it looks like.
Well, it is a dangerous area for a set piece, and Lissandro Paz has been delivering some really threatening balls into the box. And it will be Paz again standing over it. Clips it in towards the back stick that time, though, too close to Sutton in goals, who claims it with ease and looks to restart play straight away. Anderson, who now has to be careful being on that yellow card. Morton, who's looked to drop in and get himself on the ball a fair bit today. Carrington out wide to Goulding. We've seen the Victory. This is where they've held most of their possession, but Werribee more than happy just to stand off and allow them to play between the central defenders and the defensive midfielder. But they have really struggled to get anything further than this. As Lawton goes back to his goalkeeper in Sutton. Just got to stay. It just looks a little bit too static, you'd think, maybe, from the Victory ahead of the ball.
Well, yeah, just hearing Lawton there, he was telling everyone there's no movement, and he's right. There's no one actually giving him an option. So that's something that they really need to work on.
Again, the long ball forward just given away there. And again, played high and long forward, headed down. Lawton not able to deal with it well. Nishimoto. And, well, that's a up and under delivery there from Bavkar. Oh, Akbari really is poor there. Anticipated the run coming from Murray behind him. Murray's put that ball just behind Tyler James, but he's done excellently well to keep that alive. And Paz goes back into James, and now it's Petrov. Now it's Christian Rossi, who, again, just Keeps the ball at his feet. Happy to wait for some pressure before playing it high up towards Goodwin, who again gets the ball down really well. And Powell now coming forward. Paz to James. Good little exchange, and again happy to shift the ball across the ground. Collette. Bavka. Now Bavka again driving forward. Been an intriguing battle with Josh Hope all day there on that left-hand side for Werribee. Goulding. And, well, Akbari is offside. And again, you've got to say, for me, that's just being a little bit lazy from Akbari because he's just walking back as that ball's gone in behind him. He hasn't made an effort to get himself back on side. If he'd just gotten himself level there, he could have been through on goal yet again.
1-on-1, and I didn't pay a great deal of attention, but it looks like Melbourne Victory are at a 4-4-2 there with Saeed and Palazzolo. Now dual strikers up the front. I think Saeed was playing more of a wide left in the first half, but it looks like they've gone to 4-4-2 with Hope out wide. So that maybe they've noticed something in the first half.
We did see that diamond in midfield, as we said, taking shape early. Saeed was getting himself a little bit wider than the traditional number 9 role that you would expect from a diamond in midfield. Again, the effort has to be on getting the likes of Akbari a little bit more on the ball in advanced areas. That's something which the Victory just simply haven't been able to do, and Hope has been drifting from a wide position throughout the game, but again, hasn't really been able to influence much in any sort of dangerous area, aside from his penalty which he won early in the game. And that time Hope is brought down from behind, and he does clutch his ankle there in pain. Helped up slowly by his Werribee City counterpart. And now the Victory will look to restart play again through Anderson. Carrington. Sol Goulding a bit of a task there. And the referee gives the throw the way of the Victory. So, again, can Melbourne come forward with it now? Ball flicked forward. Goulding has done really well to get himself into that area. Now it's Palazzo with a strike and just over the bar. Well, the best chance the Victory have had since their opening goal into their second shot of the game. And, well, it was just the run of Goulding there which caused a few problems in behind, and all of a sudden the shooting chance came, but just unable to direct it on goal.
Yeah, that's right. Just, I think a bit of a rushed shot there, but look, they've got a shot off. They know they're capable of doing it. That'll give them some heart going forward.
So again, the goal kick to be taken there by Christian Rossi. Carrington winning that ball down. Goodwin, Powell up. Paz looking to get himself forward on this right-hand side. One-on-one with his defender again. He's got James overlapping on the right-hand side. He finds him. James delivers. Really good ball into the box, and Nishimoto got himself into that position and got some contact on the ball as well, but just wasn't able to angle his body to direct the shot. And in the end, it harmlessly goes out for a goal kick. But again, you can just see the dangerous combinations there of Paz and James on that right-hand side. And Werribee very close to going 2 goals ahead.
Well, it's really a story of more of the same. You know, out on the flanks, get in behind, whip it in, and you know the opportunity's there. You're putting it in there to have a go at.
Well, Nishimoto was certainly one of the more dangerous players in that first half, but was usually in the position of delivering rather than receiving in the box. But now Werribee looks to come forward on this right-hand side again, and James just a little bit too much on it for Paz. I think he anticipated the run. Paz wasn't quite on the same wavelength there.
The other thing that I've noticed at Victory is they're not attacking the ball that comes to ground. They're happy to let Werribee win it. There's not enough fight to try and win that ball.
Well, now a chance. Goodwin gets it down. Powler, he'll strike that deflection and just wide. For a moment there, it looked like it might have angled into that far top corner, and the goalkeeper Sutton certainly was nowhere near it, having been wrong-footed completely by the deflection. But Werribee again, getting into dangerous areas, and Paolo, who we mentioned a few times in that first half, has been really impressive in getting in and getting himself on the ball, moving it quickly. But now a chance here on the corner kick. So it's Paz here to take for Werribee. Whips it in. Man has gone down in the box. Referee had a clear side of it, and absolutely nothing was given. Now Saeed on this right-hand side. Got not much in terms of options inside him, and he tries to go round his defender, but Paolo, well too strong and experienced there. And as we said, we maybe just seen a bit of naivety from some of these Melbourne Victory younger players. Really struggling to hold the ball in advanced areas at the moment and just giving it away rather cheaply. That time, though, they have gotten a free kick, so they can get some numbers ahead of the ball now.
Well, Saeed didn't really have a lot to go to. It was his only option to try and beat his man. Now, he didn't. But, Akbari was running along the middle. He really should have been angling in, going over to give him a hand.
Anderson. Hope. Dangerous ball back there. Carrington under some pressure. Now Anderson. Does well to angle the ball out wide to Goulding. Now he'll come forward here. He's got Lawton coming forward. He's got Hope on the other side. That's where he finds. And Hope now with a bit of space just outside the box. Josh Hope cuts in on his right. Still Hope. Tried to get it into Akbari. But that time was given away, and it will be a Melbourne Victory throw. As we said, the danger of getting the likes of Josh Hope on it in more advanced areas. Morton, Hope, given away, and, well, it goes down rather cheaply. You can see the wry smile on his face, and also Brad Murray's face there, who sort of just raised his arms in dismay there at Hope flailing onto the ground. A little bit of banter exchanged from Alex Goodwin and Josh Hope. Goodwin just reminding him that he's already put one into the top corner. Now Morton on the ball. Now, that's a poor pass, and Nishimoto can scamper onto this one. Goulding just getting himself back into a position of danger here, but Nishimoto can strike that on his right and puts it just wide of the top corner. Takanori Nishimoto. And again, the Melbourne Victory giving it away in a dangerous area, and Nishimoto very nearly making them pay for that one.
Well, almost. That would have been right up with the first two goals that they've scored. Werribee, I think they're trying to pick the top bins once.
Well, Nishimoto, again, very experienced player at this level. Already seen a promotion with Pauline, as we mentioned earlier, a few years ago. Now that ball into the box towards Goodwin. It falls through. Some half-hearted cries for handball. I don't think the referee ever really took him seriously. So now it's going to be a throw for Werribee. Now a chance. Can they get the ball in? Poorly given away. Akbari beats a few players. Beats two or three, actually. Did really well to get himself forward, but in the end wasn't able to hold possession. And Murray now on it. Nishimoto whips it into the back post. Paz wasn't quite there. Defender clears. Saeed wasn't able to keep it alive. Well, you've just got to think now, how long is it going to be until the Victory coaching staff go to their benches? A number of options for both sides there to bring in. Now it's Powler, though, who, under some pressure, gets a shot away, but just wasn't able to direct it on target. And in the end, it's out for another goal kick.
Yeah, and that looks like Irakanda and Diaz looks set to, I'm pretty sure it looks like Diaz from up here, set to come on. I'm not sure who they're going to replace. Irakunda's a midfielder and Diaz is a striker, so I'm probably banking on Jake Palazzolo and potentially Brandon Lawton. I'm not too sure at this stage.
Well, as we just mentioned, it looks like a double change is about to be made by the Victory. So are we going to see something here? So it will be Tio Irakunda coming on for Josh Hope and Ramek Akbari. So both of them coming off, the two senior squad members. Rudakunda coming on. And Akbari coming off. And Daniel I coming on. So two changes there. Well, you've got to say, as we said, both Hope and Akbari not really performing to the level that you'd probably expect from two players that have played a fair few games in the A-League so far this season. Hope started off really strongly, winning himself a penalty, but after that, you could just see the frustration and wasn't really able to get himself on the ball. Akbari as well, aside from one or two runs driving forwards, didn't really assert himself at all in the game. But now it's Goulding with the ball over the top. The defender heading it down, and then Bavkar wasn't able to save it from being a corner kick.
No, that's right. And Bavkar, that's desperation there. He doesn't want to give Victory any chance at all. And in saying about Hope and Akbari, well, here's a chance now for Irakunda and I to, stamp their authority on the game and say, well, I deserve a spot in this side.
So the corner kick here to be taken by the Melbourne Victory. And the defenders all forward there, Anderson and Carrington. So now an opportunity here. Can they get that equalising goal? Ball whipped in towards Anderson, comes out to the back, and the strike from I was really well held there by Christian Rossi, considering it came through 3 or 4 bodies in front of him. It would have been the perfect introduction for I. Now Petrov looks up and finds Paz, who's under some pressure there from Anderson. Just holds it up and goes back into Powell. Now Tyler James. Paz just left the ball behind there, and Lawton now. Will we see maybe the fitness aspect of being a professional side start to play a part here in the second half for the Victory? Irakunda with a really good ball over the top, but the offside flag was raised yet again there against Palazzolo, who went down to chase down Rossi. The flag was raised, but the referee blew play on. So now Bavkar, who just looks up for the run of Goodwin, but Sutton is well off his line, heads it clear. Goulding wasn't able to keep it alive. And it looks like Brandon Lawton has moved himself into the number 10 position there, with I and Irakunda going either side of him. So, again, a slight little change in structure there for the Victory. Now Morton. Anderson. Driving forward really well there was Anderson, but given away there. James, now Paz to Powell. Paz again. Now a chance here, given away there by Butler. Now an opportunity for the Victory to come forward here. And Irakunda just tried to get himself out wide of his fullback. In the end, did quite well. Just see a little bit of a change of energy there from the Victory substitutes who have come in here. Now I on the ball. That time not able to find the exchange of passes there with his fullback, and it will be a Werribee City ball. And you just think for Werribee now, the really important stage would be just lasting out this next 10 to 15 minutes, because the Victory, with the 2 changes they've made, just starting to get themselves with a little bit more energy on the ball and going forwards. Goodwin. James, Paz. Goodwin. Finds the run of Tyler James, who delivers excellently in towards Nishimoto. He just couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet there. I think was surprised himself that James was able to pick him out. Werribee moving the ball really well there on that left-hand side. Carrington getting across, but ended up losing possession. And again, Werribee on it in the tight area there. And in the end, it will be a Melbourne Victory throw.
Yeah, and they do look a little bit fresher, obviously, with I and Irakunda coming in. And Lawton going into the midfield role at a number 10. That'll help him, I think. He'll run all day, and he'll give you something. He'll give you an option, which is good.
It's now a chance here. Powler, good slip ball in behind. Goodwin. Not with much support around him. Finds Powler again. Now the ball back to Nishimoto, who gets it across into Murray. Bit of space for him here to spread out to Tyler James. Finds Paz, who's, again, face-to-face with his fullback, a position he loves to be in, and just holds it up back into Tyler James. Murray, great pass there to James again in an advanced area. You see Werribee really comfortable in tight areas and moving it around inside the final third. That time his pocket is picked though, and Saeed again now with a chance to get forward. Can he go past his fullback? A great little bit of speed there from Saeed to get around Petrov. Now Collette comes across. Saeed still on the ball. Centers into Lawton. Turns. And, well, wasn't able to direct the shot. But we said it in the first half, Saeed wasn't really able to get himself on the ball in dangerous areas. But that time he certainly was dangerous. And now we can just see a final change is being made. And it looks like a potentially injury-forced one as we do go into a drinks break. And Luke Goulding is going to come off for Liston Diaz for the Melbourne Victory, and it looks like it might be an injury concern there for the fullback. So all three changes now have been made by the Victory.
Well, Diaz isn't a fullback, so I'll be keen to see where he goes, whether Saeed drops back a little bit into a midfield role and Liston and takes his position up at the top of the attack. But look, the ball missed by a fair way, but the shot was on. So they're starting to creep up a little bit. I think they're trying to get back. Not trying, they're actually making an effort to get back into this game, and it's starting to pay a few dividends with their ball movement.
Well, again, this last 30 minutes or so really is going to become a fitness and physical battle as much as anything. And we've seen both sides more than capable of keeping the ball and moving it in advanced areas. And Werribee, of course, with that goal advantage, but probably looking the more dangerous when they are getting into the final third. The Melbourne Victory at the moment just struggling in those tight and compact areas higher up the ground. That time there, though, he did find the space, and the shot certainly was on. Maybe a little bit rushed there. And this is where maybe a bit of experience comes in, and that's always, again, something which, with the whole side of youth league players, can be a little bit of an issue with Werribee. A lot of experienced players at this level. A lot of them have played 50 to 60 games at least between them in the NPL, if not more. Said it's quite a decent side that Serge Sabiudini has put together for this season, and certainly promotion is on the cards. Maybe something that wasn't quite thought of initially this campaign coming into it. We've seen the likes of Lizzie Paz and Tyler James, Dion Powler, have all been really impressive so far in this contest and in the first three games.
Well, going over the last year or so, they look a good side, Werribee. They actually look a good side. They're going to cause a lot of teams problems this year. And no one really heard about them through the pre-season. Well, I certainly didn't. So they've surprised me. I watched them last year, and not that I wasn't impressed, but they looked a good deal this year.
Well, as we said, if they do win today, they are 3 wins and 0 losses in their first 3 games. They will be up at the top of the NPL2 West table, of course, with a few results yesterday as well, meaning there will be a few sides around them level. Now, that was a dangerous back pass. And now an opportunity here. And just the lack of communication in that moment. Well, as we said, as we stand, they'd be first on 9 points. North Geelong, of course, in second on 7. And then St Albans in third on 4. Of course, the results from yesterday in this competition, of course, with the Whittlesea Rangers drew 2-2 with Geelong Soccer Club. Ballarat City going down 3-1 against Moreland City. North Geelong winning that top of the table all-Croatian clash there against St Albans by 2-1 as well. Murray United, of course, drawing 1-1 with Langwarrin in the east.
And in that one there, that Langwarrin scored a 90-plus minute equaliser in that match too.
97th minute it was. So it really has been a tight competition. Of course, Box Hill drawing 1-1 with Manningham as well. A late equaliser there. The Eastern Lions started really strongly with a 2-0 win against Springvale White Eagles, and Northcote, of course, beating Goulburn Valley by 2-1 as well. So, again, and that backs up the Friday night result where the Moreland Zebras went down 3-2 against Brunswick City. So, again, the table really is tight at the moment. Number of sides starting off strongly in both NPL2 conferences. Of course, there is a change of format next season with the NPL2 being split in half and turning into VPL1 and NPL2, and, of course, NPL1 will stay as it is. So a lot of these sides, really, to stay in the second tier of Victorian football, you've got to come in the top 5 this year. So it's a little bit of a different outlay to the usual bottom 2, bottom 3 down. So it's going to be a real run to the finish line for a lot of these clubs who have started off strongly.
No, that's right. So there's something to play for right from the word go. That's that, and to me, that's a great thing. It means that it's going to broaden the competition and make it really what it's supposed to be, a test of endurance.
So the Victory now on the ball in a dangerous area. Lawton out wide. Can he get the cross into the box? Cuts back onto his left. Good little exchange of passes there and weaving himself through 4 to 5 plays. It's Lawton! Oh, that's a great save from Christian Rossi. And the ball's fisted away in the end as well. That would have been some goal. Absolutely incredible work there from Brandon Lawton. You can just see the danger there in tight areas. He weaved past 5 to 6 players. And, well, if it was a save from Christian Rossi, which it did look like initially, it certainly was a critical one. But now a chance on the corner. Ball whipped in and poor delivery that time. Disappointed with that. And, well, looking at it internally here from our views, Brandon Lawton skipped in between 5 players there. A few great ball rolls. And well, I'm not sure if it was a save or not. The second punch certainly was, but it's cannon back off the crossbar. But the first real chance for the Victory to get themselves level. And that certainly will give them some confidence there.
Oh, I feel bad for the kid. He's done all the good work, and the crossbar denies him. That was fantastic through there. And let me tell you, it was tight.
Well, Werribee, that's the first time they've really been broken down in a central position in this game. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call there. Rossi, high and long ball forward. As we said, now we're probably going to see just how fit Werribee are compared to, the full-time professionals that this Victory NPL side are. Of course, as we said, a number of them, the vast majority of them involved in the recently completed National Youth League campaign. So, again, a lot of them very fit. Now that ball's whipped across the top, and it might have even taken a little clip off the crossbar. In the end, it is a goal kick, but Alec Goodwin, I'm not sure if he was trying to shoot or not, but certainly caused the goalkeeper some problems there. Didn't look comfortable at all dealing with that.
Well, if that had gone in, he was shooting.
So a few changes here. Sorry to interrupt you, Vince. So Powler off for McCall, and Lizzie Paz, who played a really positive first half, and he comes off for Liam Bryan, who not only a very good friend of his, but also a teammate at his former club in Moreland City. So both of them coming off as Paz just trudges across nice and slowly. Really good shift from Paz in this game, and Liam Bryan will come into midfield there and hopefully see out this result for Werribee from their perspective.
What are they, defensive changes? I thought he was doing quite fine. I can't work it out. Why you're taking him off?
Well, it looks like they've shifted Nishimoto out wide here. Liam Bryan's going to go out onto the left. So now a chance here for the Melbourne Victory again to come forward. And as we said, now we're going to see just how fit Werribee are, because the Victory youth boys are certainly looking like they're full of running going into this second period of the second half. Cries for a throw-in not given. So it looks like Lawton has gone out to right fullback. Goodwin, he looks up, finds Nishimoto. Now this is a position of danger here. Run-on-one with his defender again, Nishimoto. Clips the ball in, but Sutton easily out to claim that one. And Irukunda coming forward here on the right-hand side. He's got Saeed making some movements for him on this left, but that's a poor ball. And in the end, it's out for a throw.
Yeah, poor ball. Well, you can't really say much more. That's what it was. Saeed's running on. He's going to beat the guy for pace by the looks of it, as he did earlier on. And he's put it over his head, and that's out for a throw-in. So it's a wasted opportunity there.
So Tyler James to take the throw. As you said, 2-1 at the moment. An 8th minute penalty from Josh Hope had given the Victory the lead, but an absolute rocket from Julian Collette, equalising for Werribee before a fantastic header from Alec Goodwin gave them the lead within 4 minutes of each other, those two goals in the 23rd and 27th minutes. And now it's Liam Bryan on the ball. First real contribution for the former Keilor Park midfielder, of course, moving back into the NPL after a few seasons in State League 1. Great ball from Tyler James. Bryan in a bit of space. His touch let him down, though. Ball centred. James gets high again. Butler just not able to get the ball down, and now a chance here for the Melbourne Victory to come forward. Not really much ahead of the ball, though, and Irukunda just holds it up. Murray putting some pressure on. Morton under the close tutelage there of Butler. Now the ball switched out across to Anderson. The Victory again will look to come forward as we get in towards the last 12 minutes of this game. Irukunda. Now Saeed turns himself into trouble there, and Nishimoto doing well to find Butler. And now Murray breaks the lines well. Goodwin holds it up excellently, gets the ball out wide. Now a chance here for Liam Bryan. Goodwin. Bryan lost it in a bad area. Irukunda now on the ball. Beats the first challenge of Bryan. And McCall comes across, the other substitute, to clear the ball away. You just see the Victory now increasing their urgency a little bit, as they should be.
Irukunda done some great work there. He won the ball back. Diaz is making a run for him out wide, and he's just tried to take his player on instead of giving it earlier. And that's, once again, that's just experience.
So a free kick here in a dangerous position here for the Melbourne Victory.
They've started to get right back into this game, Victory, so don't be surprised if you see another goal.
Well, this will be a great chance for them. As we said, they've struggled to break down Werribee in open play, aside from that run there from Lawton a few minutes ago, which saw his shot cannon off the bar. But now a chance here off the corner. Sorry, the free kick rather, but that's a really poor delivery. And in the end, harmlessly out for a goal kick. And again, it's those types of situations where the Victory need to be accountable as we hit the last period of the second half.
Yeah, and he's not happy with himself. He knows that he's cost them another good opportunity to try and put the ball into the back of the net. But he knows. So, look, they're moving forward and they're up for it. So it'll be interesting to see these last 10 minutes or so.
Rossi, high ball forward. High. Sort of got that on the way down rather than the way up. Now a chance for Irakunda here, who has been lively since coming off the bench, and he beats one challenge, turns back. Now finds Morton, who under some pressure there from Butler. Anderson. Cuts himself inside once, has a strike from long range, but that's easily into the arms of Christian Rossi, who picks up and releases his fullback in Nicholas Bavcup. And he again looks for the run of Goodwin, who under pressure there from Carrington ends up forcing the Victory captain to concede a throw. Of course, the Melbourne Victory have already made all three of their substitutions, so there is to be no more impact off the bench from them. But it will be Werribee that's looking likely of making their final change. So it looks like it's going to be Takanori Nishimoto to come off as the ball rolls out for a Melbourne Victory goal kick. And the final change of this game will be made, and it will be Takanori Nishimoto to come off, who again provided the assist for Alec Goodwin's header, which at the moment looks like being the winning goal. And he'll be coming off, and he'll be replaced by Kylan Feely, the number 11 who comes on. And Nishimoto, another really positive performance from him today.
Yeah, both the wingers today, Paz and Nishimoto, for me, they've been the best for Werribee, without a doubt. They've given them a lot of run, and to be honest, they've done a power of work, so giving them a rest towards the end of the game and putting some fresh legs on is probably not a bad idea.
Well, is there to be some late drama here at Epping Stadium? Ball played over the top. Goodwin runs onto it, but Sutton was quick off his line and headed that ball out for a throw-in again for Werribee. Feely, first real touch of the ball. Held up in the corner there by Lawton. And Irakundu does well there to get the ball out of danger, or at least win the ball back for the Melbourne Victory. Morton spreads the ball across there to Anderson. Now chance here for the Victory to penetrate on the ground, but with a poor release there. Again, you just wonder now what the Victory really have to get themselves back into this contest. As Werribee have brought some physicality in off the bench now, and it's something which the Victory really haven't been able to marshal or get any success with.
They're not going to do themselves any favours by trying to force the issue either. They've got to just get the ball up in the manner that they had been getting up, instead of trying to rush their passes, because that just brings on errors and turnovers. So if they just keep it nice and simple and play the way, because they're getting up there, that's all they really need to do, is just keep it nice and simple on their way towards the goal.
As we said, the likes of Saeed, who hasn't really been cited today, just not able to influence the game as he would have liked, and contributing factor to that has been the inability to hold the ball up in dangerous areas, and that's been something which Werribee have been really good at marshalling. But now, as we said, as we're inside the last 10 minutes, what do the Victory have in response? Ball played forward. Really closely marshalled there by Tyler James, who has again been one of the star performers today for Werribee on that right-hand side. Really strong in the challenge and very dangerous on the overload. Long throw there, Saeed, under pressure there from Petrov, and Petrov did just enough just to force the ball off the Melbourne Victory attacker. And Werribee again will hold possession.
Yeah, it also looks like Lawton's gone into a right-back position to replace Goulding, who might have come off injured earlier on.
Goodwin holding it up. James, excellent use of his body there from Tyler James and winning the free kick as well. And again, that's just a little bit of experience there from a lad who was in the system in the Melbourne City Youth League winning side, and again, spent a few seasons there at a professional level, then moved out to Green Gully and Moreland City. Now a chance here to come forward. Feely doing well, gets a shot off. And well, just couldn't quite get the power required. Liam Bryan was screaming for it on that right-hand side. Now it's Morton. Irukunda. Back into Lawton there. Holds it up. Sutton. Forced to play high and long, and it's exactly what Werribee would want. Not allowing the Victory to get on the ball. Not allowing them any momentum to get back into this game. As we said, the 2-1 advantage. The goals from Goodwin and Collette at the moment enough for Werribee. Will that stay the same? Lawton, who's moved around the park today, as we said, in at fullback now, was playing an attacking midfield role when Akbari came off, started as a central midfielder earlier. Morton does well to beat his man there, McCall, clips it through towards Saeed, who's in behind and onside, but just couldn't quite get himself into a position of danger there. Forced out wide there by James. Holds it up. Now good little ball inside, but the touch was poor there by the marauding Victory fullback. And Mustajanic will be really frustrated with himself that he wasn't able to control that, because it could have been a position of real danger there for the Melbourne Victory.
Yeah, he's still spewing about that one. That was a really, really, really good opportunity to get really, really tight in and whip one across the face for a potential tap in.
So now, strong challenge in midfield, and Murray, referee, feels went a little bit over the ball there, and he's going to be shown a yellow card. The Werribee City skipper, and he stayed down after that as well. So the Werribee City trainer is going to make his way onto the ground. So just to wait to see the treatment time here. Might be a little bit of a tactical delay here by Murray, as he allows some of his players to get a drink of water. As we said, the initial 37-degree temperatures have well and truly cooled down now. It is still around 35 degrees here in Melbourne, but the cool breeze that's coming across Epping Stadium is actually making it quite pleasant conditions for football. And Murray is limping off here, so they'll be hoping that he can get himself right for this last few minutes, because he's been a really important enforcer in that midfield role as we inch towards injury time here. The Melbourne Victory with a man advantage for the short time being, as Murray is indicated by the officials to come back onto the ground. So Morton tried to find the feet of his striker there, but the ball cleared. Sutton a long way off his line and did well to clear. So will be a throw. Goodwin flicks over the top. Carrington clears away. Murray up with the header this time. Now Saeed brought down there by McCall. Now Saeed plays the ball quickly there. Irukunda looks up, looking to drive forward on it. Palazzolo goes back to Lawton. Good strong challenge there, though, from Feely, the substitute. Now a chance for him to come forward here, Feely. Irukunda putting some pressure on him, but Feely doing well to keep possession of the ball. Goodwin, he's brought down there by a flailing arm there from Irukunda. So it will be a free kick here for Werribee. And again, some really good hold-up play. And again, a few more seconds off the clock for Werribee City.
Yeah, they're trying to chew up as much time as possible now. And Murray looks like he's noticeably limping, so he might have hurt that ankle or turned that ankle by the looks of things.
Well, not too long to go here as we're into the 89th minute. As McCall just shifts the ball out wide there to Tyler James. Back into Petrov, who's under pressure from 3 Victory players and in the end had to clear that ball away. Copped a bit of a stomp as well from Saeed after the fact. So the referee has given a free kick.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a minimum of 7 minutes.
So 7 minutes to be added on for extra time. Now I'm assuming maybe that's because of the drinks break that we had in between, but I'm struggling to think how 7 minutes is really justified here, Vince, because there hasn't really been that many stoppages of play so far.
Well, it was hotter last night at Altona and oh my God, Hume City, and there was 3 minutes of added time at the end of the game. So that I have no idea.
You could hear the dismay of the Werribee City coaching staff, and I think they're still asking the question as to how that is 7 minutes of added time. Regardless, though, those discussions continue out there between the 4th official and the Werribee coaching staff. But it does mean there is still plenty of football to be played here. As we said, what do the Victory have to get themselves back into this contest? Ball thrown in, Feely out in the corner. Just holding it up. You could almost argue, even though it is injury time, with the 7 minutes being added on, it might even be too early to start doing this. Bavcup does well. Goodwin whips the ball into the back post. Brian gets it down. Just shuffled backwards there by Mustajanic, but Liam Bryan just doing well to keep the ball, and in the end he wins a corner. They'll be pleased with that result there, Werribee. Now again, it's a chance for Liam Bryan to, well, I'd say get the ball in the box, but there's no one in there for Werribee, so we're going to assume that they're just going to hold this ball up in the corner again and win themselves another one. So we get ourselves into the 2nd minute of stoppage time here. Goodwin. Up Lawton with some silky footwork there to flick the ball out of the corner. But again, Werribee holding the ball into this corner, and they'll be really happy with that.
I like that little comment from Colette there. Too old, too smart.
Well, Werribee themselves actually aren't an old side. A number of lads who have been around the traps for a while, but the majority of their side would be 23 to 24 years old. The few older heads there, and Colette being one of them. Bryant. And that one just given away there. And now a chance for the Victory on the ball. Long throw forwards. McCall up strong. Poor giveaway possession that time. Murray holds it up. Now back to Liam Bryant. Gets the ball out wide to Alec Goodwin, who holds it in the corner. Was he fouled? Well, goes down rather easily, you'd think, but the ball over the top is to no one. Petrov does well. Switches out wide. Now it's Bavkar on the ball here with a bit of space. Feely. Bavkar. Anderson had a bit more time than he thought there. Puts Carrington under a bit of pressure. He turns and clears. McCall. Murray. Werribee really calm and composed and getting this ball out of the danger zone. Liam Bryan also going down a little bit easily there, you'd think, and then he ends up bringing down Mustajanet. So Liam Bryan will go in the book. So it's going to be a yellow card there for the substitute. Well, is there one roll of the dice here for the victory? One last roll of the dice as we get into the 4th minute of added time. Lawton drives forward as Brandon Lawton again. Just let that ball get away from him a little bit. McCall, who's been strong as ever in that midfield battle, and he's won himself the ball there again. Now Anderson flicks it out wide. Irakunda does well. Can he get across into the box? Hasn't really got much in the way of options. In the end, wins a corner, which is probably the best one. And this is where Werribee will just have to be aware. The Victory haven't necessarily threatened off set pieces so far today, but it's just another opportunity to get people into the area. It's taken short quickly. Irakunda. Overloading run from Mustajanik, who whips in, deflected, falls to eye. Touch was poor. Back into Morton. He won't want to lose the ball here. He has. Ball cleared. Only as far as Lawton. Anderson. High ball over the top. Collette caught under it, but that's offside. And again, Werribee survive what could be the last foray of Melbourne Victory attacks here. They've been quite comfortable for the majority of this game at the back, but all that time, being so late into this 7 minutes of stoppage time, I'll be pleased to get out of that unscathed. And Collette, of course, scored the equalising goal. An absolute rocket from the central defender. Certainly one which I'm sure he'll be watching himself again a number of times. And why not?
That's right. If I scored one like that, I'll be watching it every day of the week.
Of course, the second goal scored by Alec Goodwin as well certainly wasn't too shabby either. Headed straight into the top corner. And again, Werribee have been really good value for this lead today. They've been quite impressive on the ball. And again, for a side that wasn't necessarily fancied as being a promotion contender, although with the signings they've made and the results that they've gained so far in these first 3 games, I think sides now really have to start looking at them as someone who could really be in for a chance of returning to the top flight of Victorian football this year. And it would be the first time since taking over at Werribee that Serge Sabiadini has gotten 3 from 3. Now it's McCall. He's got Bryan out wide. Was he fouled there? Referee says no. Liam Bryan gets across though, and in a bit of a tangle there with Palazzolo, and in the end, he's won himself and his side a free kick. Now there's a bit of afters in there as well between a few of the Melbourne Victory players, and I think it was Feely who got a little bit of a push and shove. But we are now over the 7 minutes of allotted time, so this really is the last act here. And you think here with the Victory with so many numbers behind the ball, and he's kicked it straight into the ref, and with that it's full time. Werribee City with a massive result here, 2-1 against the Melbourne Victory. They maintain their perfect start to the season, and well, after going down early to a Josh Hope penalty kick, it was the Melbourne Victory who weren't able to hold on to the lead, and Werribee City with a rocket from Julian Collette in the 22nd minute, and then a top-class header from Alec Goodwin in the 27th. Enough to get the result here today. And, well, Vincenzo, a really good result in the end for Werribee. They stay at the top of the table. Much deserved. For the Melbourne Victory, they'll surely be disappointed with that, considering the start that they had.
Yeah, that's right. Just as simple as that. Thoroughly deserved. Aside from the first 10-15 minutes of the first half, it was really all Werribee beyond that. And you want to know what? Victory can probably count themselves lucky that they didn't concede a couple more.
Well, thank you again from your commentary team here at NPL Victoria Live. From Brandon Galgano and Vincenzo Iannucci, goodbye for now.